Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sexual innuendo and conjoined twin of the Out There Hour. It's After Hours.
The Out There Hour on Alternative Future Radio. The Out There Hour with Basil and Mark. www.alternativefutureradio.com.
Yay! In your face, everybody else.
Everybody join in.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, America. Good morning, United Kingdom. Good morning, Europe.
And Kuwait, and possibly Israel and Saudi Arabia.
And the Middle East.
We've got some other very curious demographics appearing as well. We're quite big in Qatar.
Oh, that's odd. I didn't know
Not the
that.
nasal fluid, but the actual country.
Don't want to come across as a dummy, but where is Qatar?
It is a emirate, or I believe it's an emirate. It's an island, at least. Or is it connected to Saudi Arabia? It's on the east coast of Saudi Arabia, in the Arabian Peninsula, and I think it might be actually connected to Saudi Arabia. It could be an island, I'm not sure.
What's all this Middle Eastern thing about?
I have no idea. We get viewers from Kuwait en masse, loads of those. Saudi Arabia is one of the most popular countries, and then Qatar. We've even got viewers from Yemen. What's that all about?
Maybe they're looking for a green card and think we can help them out.
Yeah, maybe we're going to start getting emails in the posts.
Maybe it's women who want to marry us.
Yes, exactly.
Which I'm not opposed to. Send your details to alternativefutureradio.com.
You can email Basil directly at basil@alternativefutureradio.com. Please enclose a picture. Several pictures.
Several pictures, please.
And a small video.
Not of your daughter, of you. The reason I was saying hello to the entire world this morning is because we're broadcasting on Ustream live.
We are indeed live on Ustream again.
And you're so welcome to say hello to us if you're listening in.
Yes, do it. Why not? It's free.
It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost you. It doesn't cost us.
Yeah, exactly. Just do it.
The best price in the world.
It is one of the best prices. Right, competition time. Let's clear this business up.
Yeah, so last week we ran a competition to guess the mystery voice.
Yes, mystery voice, and we'll not play it again because, well, we're like that. But if you bothered to listen to it and guess, then, well, we'll give you the answer. Nobody bothered to answer, of course.
Again, it's the what I've dubbed the competition that nobody enters and nobody leaves.
We should get a jingle for that.
We'll get a jingle for it.
We'll make one up. Yeah.
So, let's just...
do the big reveal. Drum roll, please.
No drum roll. Are you serious? That sounds like a badly running lawnmower.
That's as close as I've got.
That's given the idea we're going to give money away, and we're never going to do that, ever.
You keep promising money every week. Only in full knowledge that nobody enters the competition.
Right. I always say it was £2,000
after,
and you didn't enter.
Yeah.
It was going to be a gold bar.
Oh,
this
gold
week,
bar,
but
gold
you
bar.
didn't enter.
Yeah. Oh well.
So the answer to it, if you want to nip back to the last video, it was Mr. Ed, star of the popular 1950s sitcom. About a talking horse.
About a talking frigging horse.
And it was pretty good.
Wow, didn't they peak?
I watched it. I thought it was pretty funny.
I watched it for a little while, then decided it wasn't, and stopped.
It was in black and white. And
that was a big killer for me. I can't stand black and white.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, don't want to watch it.
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, all you had was I'm not saying I know.
When I was a lad.
I look like I'm in my late 20s. I understand that. But, well, they used to show a lot of... what do they call it? Syndicate black and white TV
Repeat?
shows. Yeah, so it was... I Love Lucy and stuff like My Favourite Martian.
Oh, good grief. I didn't see that one, thankfully.
Yeah, it was grim.
I can imagine. Yeah. God, I tell you what I used to begrudgingly watch / hate. I don't know why I watched it. I think I watched it because I hated it. Sergeant Bilko.
Oh, gosh, that was... Oh, wow. Every Sunday.
Yeah. Wow.
Jeez, that was bad.
What was that? Phil Silvers, wasn't it?
And then, do you remember on... Oh, no, I'm going to sci-fi out. No, I'm going to nerd out.
Don't nerd out, but
Yeah.
why was Top Cat, or Boss Cat if you're in America, basically Sergeant Bilko, but with cats?
Because it was based on Bilko.
Why? Who thought that was a great idea? I know. Let's get a really crappy black and white comedy that's not funny and take all of the actors and then put them into animated cat bodies in colour, and, let's pump that out to the world.
To be fair,
who commissions this crap?
I really preferred Top Cat.
Yeah, it was better.
It was a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're going to nerd out again.
No, we did the mystery voice.
We did.
But we didn't do this week's competition.
Oh, yes.
Guess the artist.
Guess the artist, and we use the word artist quite liberally.
Again, like Charles Manson, not famous for his music.
No, but still famous.
But a rather well-known cult figure in the 70s, 60s and 70s. I think he died maybe in the 80s
Big
or 90s.
Name. He was a leader of a number of people.
He was a leader of something big.
Something quite big. He... let me see. He looks very much like a famous movie bad guy. We'll say that much, because if we went too specific, it would give it away.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He looks like a famous movie bad guy.
It's a good thing we went for take 2 this morning then, wasn't it? Oh dear. Oh no.
But yeah, shall I play it?
We're not being professional. Oh my goodness. Let's yeah. Let's.
It's this look, that look, and the smile.
God.
That's what freaks me out. He doesn't look again. He only looks at the beginning.
That's enough.
If you're interested to know the answer to this and you are too lazy to enter the competition, you can go to our website, www.alternativefutureradio.com, click on videos, and you will see all the videos that we're going to talk about today and some others, and they're all weird. It's the weirdest playlist in the world.
It is.
That much I think I can say with some degree of certainty.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can watch the video which we were just playing, so you'll know the answer, and enter the competition, hopefully to win massive prizes next week. The old videos are on there as well, the Rainbow Twanger episode from last time.
Which we covered last week.
I've also got the Brass Eye Pedo-geddon episode, which got banned, which is quite funny. We've got a report from Bohemian Grove.
We've got an actual news report on Bohemian Grove.
An actual news report from real journalists.
I think of personal interest and trauma to me, the bicycle episode of Different Strokes.
Yes, that is on there.
Which was a difficult few weeks for me, reviewing that.
Yeah, it must have been. It took you 3 weeks to review one episode of Different Strokes.
Research.
Research, yes, clearly, yes. Actually, I can't see it. Maybe it's on page 2. It's on page 2.
Oh, we've gone to page 2, everybody.
Oh, yeah, we're moving on.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, so
topics.
What we're going to go on to then? What are you going to pick first? Oh, can I pick the first one? Because it's the most recent one.
Okay, if you insist.
Psychic fair.
Oh.
We went to a psychic fair yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gee.
We thought, let's go to psychic fair. We'll pick up some interesting guests and mediums and psychic and unusual people, and we'll interview them, and it'll all be great.
We could have picked up some interesting soap, because that's what it was mainly made of.
It was basically soap and crystals that were for sale, and insoles or something of equal stature.
And books.
And some books, yeah.
Well,
all stuff I could have bought on eBay and saved the 20 quid on fuel and entry fees that I spent that day.
Yeah, it cost us it took quite a bit of funding from this little old station.
It took about 2 hours of our life. 5 quid each to get in. Petrol.
It was a week's wages, everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
A week's wages for us.
If you're listening from Malaysia, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But not where we are in the field.
Not really, no, in the field. Yeah. We're always operating in the field.
Operating in the field.
Operating in the field.
We're operating from an undisclosed location for our own safety.
Safety, yes.
And security. So the psychic fair. So what we, I don't know whether I should say this or not and ruin psychic fairs for people, but
I think you should. I think you should save them from them. It's a money-saving tip.
It is, because what we were hoping for was just to rub shoulders with some mediums is what we wanted to speak to.
Yeah.
And we just assumed that you'd go in and they'd just be there and you could just talk to them. Hang about.
Yeah.
No.
Nope, cordoned off they were.
Cordoned off, and you had to book to see them.
Yeah, whether or not you got... So you didn't get a chance to talk to them first to find out whether or not you thought they were a nice person or not.
Yeah.
Or, mental sane or whatever. So you had to pay up front and then pick one of these people basically from a distance.
Yeah.
How sucky is that?
Yeah, so it was by viewing them.
Yeah.
Which one looks the most medium-like?
Medium-like, yeah. Well, this one's quite large. This one's quite small. Yeah. I'll go for the one in the middle.
Maybe
it's medium.
We should have tried telepathy to speak to them, perhaps. I don't know. But paying up front, come on.
Yeah, and all you got for your 5 quid entry fee was basically the ability to walk around a few stalls selling soaps and crystals and rubbish, basically, stuff that we didn't want.
Candles and incense.
Candles, yeah.
Which you can kind of get anywhere.
Which you can go and get anywhere without spending 5 quid to get in.
Yeah.
What a complete rip-off.
So we're not not knocking it, but we are.
We are. I was rubbish. I'll never go again. I advise everybody else not to.
I'm going to give you a name.
All right.
I'm going to give you a name and see what conjures up in your tiny brain, Mark.
Yes.
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton. Geordie LaForge.
Geordie LaForge. That's what everybody thinks.
Don't nerd out on me again.
No,
don't go hyper nerditic.
No,
I've invented that.
I know,
hyper nerditic.
I know we did it on the last show. We lost the plot. Didn't we
went big time into Nerdsville. We moved in.
We won't go too far into trekkiness this time. But no, it's not all about science fiction with LeVar Burton because he's most commonly known as Geordie from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Nerd.
And also, you had an interesting story about him and Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Can you recall it?
It is a bit nerdy.
I'll go for it.
Well, he knew Whoopi Goldberg, or continues to know Whoopi Goldberg.
They were friends.
Yeah, I think they still are. Maybe because of their past history, because they both played people in very similar
I'll get to
films,
that. I'll get to that.
We'll go to that one. But yeah, he was sort of hanging out, and he went to Whoopi Goldberg's house, I think, and basically he was on his way to an audition for Next Generation. And Whoopi Goldberg said, well, where are you going? He said, I'm off to this audition, Next Generation. They're remaking Star Trek, he said. This must have been late 80s, I assume.
I think it came on in about 89, so yeah, they would have filmed it too.
And Whoopi Goldberg basically threw a fit and said that she was a massive mega fan and wanted to be on the show at all costs.
Which I didn't know,
No, and he said, yeah, okay, well, fair enough. She said, get me on that show. And he said, well, okay, I'll ask. And then a couple of months later, she said, well, where's my call like? I've not heard of anything. And she was at the height of her fame at the time. She was doing Jumping Jack Flash and
Ghost.
Ghost
Was one of the biggest films ever of the 90s.
So she was a top of the bill artist back then, and she's disappeared a little bit now.
Yeah.
But so basically, they thought she was joking, and they didn't take her seriously.
Yeah.
They thought she was just having a laugh at their expense.
Yeah.
And she said, "No, seriously, I'll be on it." So they said, "Yeah, fair enough, we'll have you." And they built the whole 10 Forward bar area,
which is kind of like the
it's like a saloon bar,
for the Enterprise.
Yeah, and they built the whole set and the whole.
Hey, but
they wrote it into the scripts and everything so that they could accommodate.
When you think about it, it's a bit strange because you could just order anything from the machine in Star Trek.
So why would you go to a saloon bar?
Wow, imagine if you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Whiskey, gin.
Yeah, 2 pints, please.
First thing in the morning.
Yeah, 2 pints of whiskey,
2 pints.
Please.
What did Picard used to say? Earl Grey.
Yes.
What was it?
Earl Grey.
Just Earl Grey, was it? Yeah, hot. Yeah.
You're nerding out again.
I am.
You're nerding out again. Hold yourself back.
I can't. I'm going to get less nerdy now because what people are probably not aware of.
Yeah.
LeVar Burton. My first experience of him was in a very great program back in the 70s called Roots.
Yes.
If anybody can remember that.
I imagine they probably
It was about slavery.
Yes. I only saw some of it. I didn't see all of it, to be honest.
You only saw some of it because it's not something that's repeated very often on TV.
It's also quite epic, isn't it? Isn't it quite long?
Oh, wow, yeah. It was the days of the epic TV serial, but it was based on a book by Alex Haley. Whose own grandfather was a slave.
Oh, right. Didn't know that.
Good book. And, so our LeVar was Kunta Kinte.
He was Kunta Kinte. He was the man himself.
Kunta Kinte be free.
Aha.
I have a theory why Roots isn't shown.
Why is that then?
Because when I watched it as an adult, I watched it last year or the year before, and it hadn't dated. It was riveting. It's a great program.
Yeah.
And I feel it doesn't talk about black slavery, but it talks about slavery in itself.
Yeah.
And I think it shows people about freedom.
Yeah.
Is that making any sense?
Are you talking basically about a society slavery?
Yeah, I'm talking about being
everybody's a
slave of society, which we all are. We're a slave of the of the unemployment system. We're a slave of the employment system.
Yeah.
We're a slave of the prison system. We're a slave of the justice system. We're a slave to every system.
Yeah.
If that's not too heavy.
Yeah.
So Roots, a fantastic thing. If you've never seen it, I recommend go out and buy it on eBay or anywhere you can get it from.
Yeah. You're
in for a treat.
It's probably very cheap by now, I'd say. And the other film, which Whoopi Goldberg was in, was The Colour Purple, which I know wasn't really about slavery, was it? It was kind of.
Gosh, I never watched it.
I've watched some of it.
But I know you did because you're a fan of the Oprah Book Club, and Oprah was in it.
She was in it, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she had a good
think.
part in that. She was, yeah. And Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I kind of.
They did okay out of that.
I'm a really big fan of things like that because, when I was a kid growing up, you were told about things like World War II and slavery and that kind of thing. It gave you a more broadened horizon.
Yeah.
When I was a child, television was much better. Slightly traumatic, but
more bleak.
It sure was.
Oh, good grief. Considering some of the stuff that you keep talking about that you've watched.
Yeah, well, that's all the trauma as a child I suffered through TV.
Yes, TV trauma.
I mean, I also... things that were on, there was Sherlock Holmes with Basil Rathbone, and I watched all of that on a Friday night.
I watched lots of those, but looking back, I wish I hadn't.
When I was a child,
there was nothing else.
It was good. There was nothing else on.
It was that or nothing. It was that or go to bed.
Do you know what else I watched?
What?
I watched Nicholas Nickleby,
Wow.
Charles Dickens, by the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Wow.
Because I was bored, but you know what? I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wish I could say, looking back, that I enjoyed crappy TV from the 80s, but I didn't. Even at the time, my inner brain told me that I was watching complete crap that no real effort had gone into.
But you couldn't say that about Sherlock Holmes or Nicholas Nickleby. Are you saying that Charles Dickens was slacking? Are you mad?
I could, and I did, and I will again later.
I'm moving on. I just can't work with you anymore.
No, just don't do it. Just do it. I want to talk about your autistic driving.
Oh, jeez.
It's been on my list for 2 weeks now, and I keep meaning to talk about it. I keep getting distracted, usually by you, to steer me away from it. So I put it right at the top of the list.
I'm sidetracking you, so you can't talk about it. Okay, go ahead, shoot. What is it?
I want to discuss the fact that you can't drive anywhere that you've not already been, which is strange, because how can you get anywhere?
That's not
makes no sense.
It's not entirely true. I just it takes me a while to drive places if it's a long distance.
What, do you go there in stages?
No, I don't. I like to go. Say if I was meeting somebody at 3 p.m, I wouldn't. I'd like to have already driven up there to know where it was and what the route was.
Yes.
That is autistic, isn't it?
It's a little bit autistic, yeah. It's a little bit obsessive-compulsive as well.
Is anybody else like that? Would they like to write in and tell us about it?
They can't write in because they haven't got access to the internet inside.
No, that's true. That's true. They're not allowed to.
They're not allowed. No, because they just stalk people.
And they
on
probably
Facebook.
can't. They're probably not allowed to hold a pen either.
No, they're sharp.
Okay, so that's one thing. It's rather you didn't bring it up, but as you have, what is there something else that's been bothering you?
Not particularly.
Is it parking?
Parking
in the same spot every time.
Yeah, you do that.
I do that at the studio.
You like to park in the same spot at the studio, so I keep parking my car in random places just to annoy you.
Well, you parked it in my parking space.
I did, yes.
1 week.
And sideways across it.
Sideways
to be
across
specific,
my parking
just to
space,
disjoint your reality a little bit
where
more.
I park every time without fail in the same position.
Yes, so I parked lengthways across
and,
it.
And if I remember correctly, that was the same day that I was in a rush and I had reached for the deep heat instead of the Old Spice. And
that was a classic
sprayed
day.
myself with
I didn't even mention that on air at the time because I just couldn't bear to say it. It was just so funny. You came in and I thought,
the smell.
Suddenly my nose is much clearer. That little sniffle I had seems to have gone.
Yeah.
And then this vapour it was like Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh, it's crazy. I sprayed it everywhere.
You sprayed it instead of aftershave or deodorant or something.
They're both red, Deep Heat and Old Spice. I assumed it was the Old Spice.
Who the hell uses Old Spice anymore? Can you even buy that?
Anybody who's in a time trap from the 70s like me. I mean, I got Old Spice aftershave as well.
But using Brute as well.
No, Brute. Brute was the one, wasn't it, for the macho man?
Oh, God, Old Spice.
Back in the 70s.
Oh, God. Go on. Oh, right. You loaned me your DVDs this week, and I was looking through them.
Don't bring anything up that might be embarrassing for me.
No. This is quite an odd one. I noticed that you'd got a copy of Threads.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I lived through Threads because I used to live near where that was. And Threads, basically, they showed it at school. Actually, it was the same teacher that showed us all that weird stuff.
What? Jesus.
He showed us Threads. It scared us all to death.
I blocked it out. Again, I watched a 10-year-old kid. And
what the hell were they doing showing us that?
This was a film about what will happen
nuclear war
in Britain if a nuclear bomb went off.
They set it in the town that I lived in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's a pity they didn't let it off in the town you lived in.
It's all very well and good if you... I mean, I was actually not far away. It was set in Sheffield, and I used to live just outside. But, I mean, if you lived in London, you know, you go, oh, well, look, it's in Sheffield. Oh, that's not too bad. You know, or Scotland, not too bad. Oh, lovely. But when it's actually the town you're living in and you recognise the shops in the background, it gets quite scary if you're 12.
Yeah, because myself and Mark are of a generation where nuclear war was a very real threat when we were growing up as children.
Oh, we were told it was.
We were told it was.
Yeah, not sure if that's the same thing.
I'm sure it wasn't. But,
No.
and then just to hammer home the point, they went and made a bloody film on it, Threads.
Yeah, and set it in my town.
And there's not many people who having seen that as a child or even an adult, would not remember that film.
Incidentally, Coronation Street fans, the fella who starred in Threads...
Or one of you.
The fella who starred in Threads, he went on to be in Coronation Street recently. He had a part in there for a while. He died in a boating accident or something. He also played a part in a comedy film, a comedy series, Home to Roost.
Home to Roost with John Thor.
Yeah.
I love that.
I thought it was awful. I hated it.
I never missed it. Fridays on ITV.
No,
it was my favourite.
It wasn't funny at all.
It was really funny.
It was cheap sitcom.
I thought Jonathan Thor was great in that.
Oh, Jonathan Thor.
John Thor? Jonathan?
John Thor.
John Thor? Jonathan?
Yeah.
What's his name?
John.
John Thor.
Yeah.
Not Jonathan?
No.
Surely John is short for Jonathan.
Not normally.
Excuse me?
No.
Oh, it's John instead of Jon.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
John.
Anyway, he was he's the guy from the Sweeney.
Yeah.
And what else was he in? Sweeney.
Mostly Sweeney.
Oh, Inspector Morse.
Inspector Morse, of course. Yeah. He was.
Did you ever watch Inspector Morse?
I've seen one.
We're totally nerding out so badly yet again. Television and sci-fi.
But we're not nerding out because I'm saying it was crap. I can't stand crime dramas. I can't stand whodunits because
Me neither.
scene one, scene all.
I don't care.
They're all the same.
I don't care who did it.
How could you want... What? Who cares?
There's Inspector Wexford, Miss Marple,
Oh, God.
Murder, She Wrote.
They're just getting worse.
They're dire, aren't they?
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know anybody.
Although there is one...
Matlock.
Matlock, yeah. There is one, however, that I'm sure you could relate to, and that's Monk.
Yeah, is it an American one?
It's an American one, yeah. He's an obsessive-compulsive... He shakes people's hands, and he has a woman that follows him with wet wipes, and he wipes all his hands down.
Oh, I'm not that bad.
And then she goes round and cleans his asses for him.
I rarely wash my hands.
It's you.
Is it?
You're a monk.
Well, we were discussing this on an earlier show, Mark.
A nerdier show, maybe?
On a nerdier show. That there was literally no crime in the 70s because there were so many private investigators and detectives.
Jim Rockford, for starts. Jim Rockford was quite cool. He was a proper detective.
I like that.
None of this. I mean, he used to smack people in the face, not like Thor sending them a harsh email. Not Thor. Thor. Morse. Sorry.
Sorry.
John Thor.
I thought you were talking about the God of Thunder, the mighty Thor.
Yeah. Well, Thor.
What, was he a detective in the 70s? Because he should put that on the resume. It's quite amazing, Mark.
No, but Van der Valk was, and he was from that direction.
Wasn't that? Can you do the theme? I used to love that. Van der Valk.
Van der Valk.
Can you tell me something? Was that the same actor who starred in the Alfred Hitchcock film Frenzy?
No idea. His name was probably
it wasn't. Am I getting mixed up? It wasn't Barry.
He was Dutch, I think, or Finnish.
Oh, he was actually Dutch.
I would say so.
I'm getting them mixed up. Sorry about that.
I think it was dubbed, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
I think it was. Yeah, it's very Dutch.
Oh, I thought it was made in Britain.
Duh.
What am I on about? Well, I never watched it. Of course, there was
clearly, since you don't know the theme tune.
Roger Moore and Tony Curtis, The Persuaders.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't remember it very well though.
The Rockford Files, Vegas was another one.
I don't know that one.
Kojak.
Telly Savalas was quite good.
Yeah.
I quite liked him. He famously had a UFO sighting thing in the desert in Nevada, I assume.
Yeah.
When he was on his way home from Vegas, where he used to be a professional card player.
Which I didn't know as well.
Made a lot of money doing cards, apparently. Yeah. He was apparently in the World Series of Poker and all that kind of stuff quite regularly.
So he had some fun.
He did.
Who loves you, baby?
Probably. You want to lick on my lollipop?
No.
He also said that.
I can't imagine Terry's.
He did say, you want to lick on my lollipop.
He made a few records as well.
He did make a few records, didn't he? I'm not sure what he sang. Did he sing anything in particular?
No, all these actors made records for some reason.
I'm just Googling lick on my lollipop. Lick my lollipop. It's got to be there, surely.
And Jackie Gleason, the famous comedian from the 70s, he was from the 50s, excuse me.
Yeah.
Again, another black and whiter. He was a big UFO.
I couldn't stand him, to be honest.
No, he wasn't funny.
No, not in any way.
He was disturbing rather than funny.
Interesting selection of videos that appear on YouTube, everybody. If you search for Lick My Lollipop, you'll see entirely what I mean. I'm not going to play any of them. They're all far too disturbing looking. Wow. Wow, that's sort of anime there, and there's a woman with 2 tongues, and yeah. I'm not sure what this woman's doing. She looks like she might be on the toilet or something. But no Telly Savalas. But I assure you we did say you want to lick my lollipop.
I'll take your word for it.
So moving on.
So no crime in the 70s whatsoever.
No, they're all far too busy.
It was
being
all
busted by
solved.
the
There were
Sweeney.
so many detectives and so many police.
Although it's not. I mean, now you've got. Oh, now the detectives. I mean, you had John Thor, who would basically smash people into a transit van and throw them in the boot.
In Sweeney. Yeah.
And then you'd got, Jim Rockford smacking people over the head and things. And now you've got Miss Marple, who's like a little old lady. You've got old men.
Jonathan Creek?
Yeah. How soft is he? Seriously. And then there's Rosemary and Thyme. There's two women. And then there's a few of those ones with silly twee names. Seriously, what are they going to do?
I kind of don't watch modern television.
No.
I'm firmly stuck in the 70s with TV.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, that was interesting that you picked up there on Threads out of the My DVD collection.
Yeah,
nice
how strange is that?
Anything else that was good?
Not really. No, mostly rubbish.
That was
just
it?
Crap. Yeah, it's rubbish. Don't know why you bothered your time buying it, really. It's rubbish.
I found it interesting.
No, it's the only one I would have bothered watching.
I'm a man of many tastes.
Yeah, many tastes. Many bad tastes.
Speaking of movies.
Yes, go on.
Curse of the movies.
Yeah. Do your curse of the movies. What movies have been cursed and why?
There's a few of them. They talk about the curse of Superman.
Yes.
Because obviously of what happened to Christopher Reeves.
What happened to him?
Well, he fell off his horse and he became completely paralysed from the neck down.
Did he?
You didn't know that?
No, I thought he just got motor neuron disease and that's what made him paralysed.
No, it isn't. No, he came off of his horse.
That also happened to the Baldy guy when they were filming The Three Musketeers.
Oh, who's
I can't remember his name now. He was a famous actor.
Just give me a time period of what.
It was the one with Gerard Depardieu and the other ones, I think. Oh, no, it was the one before that. Michael York, I think.
I remember that one. They used to show it on the television.
Guy. He was in lots of comedies in England in the late 70s.
Well, it wasn't Roy Kinnear anyway, that's for sure.
I'm not sure of his
name. Because he just died of natural causes.
Yeah, well, he fell off his horse and I think he died.
Yeah, well, the curse of Superman, obviously what happened to poor Christopher Reeves. He's deceased now, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane, ended up in a dumpster eating rubbish for some reason. She was schizophrenic or manic depressive or something like that. And then the original Superman was a guy called George Reeves back in the 50s and 60s.
No relation?
No relation at all. And he either shot himself or was shot because he had a relationship with a rather rich lady. And I think the husband didn't like it.
Very strange.
Yeah.
I'm just checking the old chat room there. Nobody talking to us yet.
Good.
Wow, that's good.
Nobody watching or talking to us.
It makes it all feel so worthwhile.
Should we take a break or?
Yeah, let's have a little bit of a break.
We'll come back to the curse of the movies after this break.
Curse of the movies.
Okay.
There's nothing much to do on Dagobah, so I mostly listen to Basil and Mark on their Out There Hour show on Alternative Future Radio. The Out There Hour with Basil and Mark on AlternativeFutureRadio.com.
Yay! Well, we're back again. So, tell us more about your movies with perils.
We're talking about the curse of the movies.
Curse, yes.
And we had covered Superman to some extent.
Yes.
And
tell us more.
Well, just what I was saying to you before the show there, Mark, about the Omen.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty weird. Gregory Peck, obviously the star of the Omen.
I didn't even know he was in it, to be honest. I've never actually... Oh, Gregory Peck, was he in the Omen? I just can't even remember.
He played a father.
Did he? Just can't even remember. So long ago since I've seen it.
Great old actor. And the director and the producer were struck by lightning in their planes. So not in
separate planes.
3 separate planes struck by lightning.
Statistically quite unlikely, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unusual.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And,
Anything else?
Then on the Poltergeist, just there's a few deaths around that one, but the little girl who starred in it, she died.
She died, didn't she?
The little blonde girl.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad.
Was she still very young when she died, or did she die of something else when she was much older?
Details.
Yeah, tell me the details. What's the details?
Details.
We require details.
Well, I don't know.
Come on.
She had completed the movies anyway. I mean, she was getting up into her teens by the time Poltergeist 3 came out.
I'd never seen her after that, so I'm assuming she died she was quite young.
It mustn't have been too long.
But I mean,
after.
did she die in some sort of mysterious circumstances, or did she drown in her own vomit after taking a load of cocaine?
No, it wasn't anything like that. No, I don't think she was too well. I think she had Crohn's disease anyway.
Ooh.
If you're aware of that.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and I think it was a blockage in the gut.
Blimey.
Poor little thing.
Nasty.
A film you may not have heard of
Yes.
was called A Tuck.
A tuck. I've heard of that. I have heard of that.
Okay,
I don't know anything about it. I've heard the name though. I've seen it on a TV guide somewhere.
Oh no, go ahead. Dig your own hole. Keep going. Keep digging.
No,
Keep digging. You've seen it.
I've no idea.
Unreleased.
Ever.
But you've seen it.
I've seen it written somewhere.
All right.
I have seen it written somewhere.
I'll take your word.
I assumed it was a TV guide if it was a film, but I have seen the name written somewhere.
I'll take your word for it. It was going to be a hilarious comedy about an Eskimo moving to New York.
Right.
New York City.
Right.
And the guy lined up who we were talking about recently was John Belushi was interested in it.
John Belushi, the dead one.
John Belushi.
And it's a new film.
No, 1982 this was.
Ah.
It goes back to 1982. And he was pretty much lined up for the lead, but he unfortunately expired.
He did. Yes.
So he never got to appear in it.
Okay. And what's unusual about this Atuk film?
Well, the next actor lined up, another little short fat one, was a guy called, not an actor actually, a comedian, Sam Kinison.
Never heard of him.
You never heard of him? There's a funny thing. He was sort of the rock stars comedian.
Oh.
Rock stars liked him for some weird reason.
Oh.
And he liked rock music.
Very strange. It's a fairly niche audience, in fairness.
Yeah, well, he was a little short guy with a beret and long hair, and he was the next actor lined up for the movie, but he also expired shortly afterwards.
Atuk.
So that was two of them. So obviously there couldn't hardly have been any more actors.
Could there hardly not have been? Was there?
Surely not John Candy.
John Candy?
He was the next one lined up.
Now, I wonder whether or not they chose him thinking that it might be 3 in a row, just to get rid of John Candy.
I hope not. I kind of like
I would have cast John Candy just to get rid of him.
I kind of like John Candy. I thought he was funny.
John Belushi would have been probably a bit of a mistake, but John Candy, I thought, could we get 3 for 3? Who's it going to be? Jim Carrey was still too young, so yeah, John Candy.
And John Candy died of a disease that I actually suffer from.
Oh, really? What's that?
Sleep apnea.
Oh, really?
It's when you stop breathing while you're sleeping. And you can stop breathing in your sleep permanently, or it can bring on a heart attack.
That doesn't sound very nice.
And that's what John Candy had. So it wasn't a heart attack through weight or anything like that. It was through his condition.
Lack of breath.
Lack of breath.
Blimey.
So I think that's a pretty...
that's interesting.
That's on a
three
roll.
for 3.
3 for 3. What do you think of that, Mark?
It's quite interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
What would you think if I were to tell you that, in fact, the next actor lined up for it also expired?
Yes. No, seriously, there's not 4.
Yep, there's 4.
Who was number 4?
Number 4 on the top 4 actors for Atuk who have expired was a guy called, you may have heard of him, probably haven't, Chris Farley. Fat American guy.
Oh, I have heard of him, yeah. Don't know him, but I've heard the name.
For the life of me, I can't think what films he was in at the moment. But people might be familiar with him. So Chris Farley was the next one in line for this film.
And what happened to him?
Well, he died. So,
of what?
God knows.
Right.
Thankfully, they dropped the whole idea of the movie before they killed anybody else.
Oh, I'm now announcing live on air that I'm going to personally fund, film, and produce the new Atuk film, starring Jim Carrey. So anybody out there listening in the spirit world, Jim Carrey, he's your man. Jim Carrey, everybody.
To star in this film, you have to be a bit on the heavy side. I don't want to be insulting to people, and so and somewhat unfunny.
Oh wow, God! So many people to choose from.
Such choice.
Yeah, Robin Williams, welcome to the stage.
Oh hell, come on! You can't.
Come on, seriously.
Robin Williams is a great actor.
Great actor, but not a great comedian.
So what have we got on this day?
Oh,
today.
yeah, we've got On This
Day in history.
Shall I give you some of the On This Day in history interesting facts?
Why not?
I'm going to peak very early with the most interesting one. That is that Shakespeare was born on this day. I won't give you the years because I can't be bothered. But he also died on this day.
Oh, gosh.
That's unusual, isn't it?
Gosh.
I know it's a 365 to 1 chance, but it must happen.
Okay.
But, and it's strange.
Sorry, on that subject, I hate to throw you off your...
Oh, go on.
Okay, I have 2 cousins.
Right. That in itself is not that impressive.
Not that unusual, but
No.
Facebook notified me yesterday that I've got 4 birthdays coming up of people I know.
Right.
And these 2 cousins, obviously, they're brothers.
Right.
And one is going to be 40-something, and the other would be, probably 30-something.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is that they both share the birthday on the same day, even though they're brothers.
Yeah.
25th of April.
That's unusual.
That is kind of odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like your William Shakespeare thing there.
Yeah.
But he was born and died on the same date.
Then that has happened.
Not on the same day, obviously.
However,
he lived for a certain amount of time before he died.
In fairness, in certain Catholic countries where people didn't have contraception for a while, they used to basically have a bit of a rest having given birth and then start on again with number 2. So therefore, the statistics are that with a 9-month incubation period and a little bit of a rest, there's going to be a high chance of people popping out at around about the same time.
Yeah, but on the exact same day?
Going to happen eventually.
Move on.
Yeah. Max Planck,
You've lost me.
famous German physicist, born today.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, well.
Did a few interesting things. Rachmaninoff.
Another name that obviously is
seriously?
familiar to anybody.
Oh, you've got to know Rachmaninoff, seriously.
What did he do and who is he?
He wrote, countless pieces of classical music.
Oh, lovely.
Now let me come down to your level. The Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto No. 2 is the one that they put words to for All By Myself by, what was it, Sheena Easton?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the music for that is in fact Rachmaninoff.
So they sort of lifted the classical...
They lifted the classical music and added the lyrics All By Myself.
That's done more often than you would think.
It's done quite often, yeah. And they do that with classical plays, going back to Shakespeare and films. The Lion King, for example, is Hamlet.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a few others they follow the same kind of formula.
You're spot on that. Yeah. They take the plot, don't they? And
superimpose different characters.
Yeah.
Cats.
It's like with jokes. They say there's only so many jokes in the world.
Really?
There's only so many jokes in history.
Ah.
And Bob Monkhouse had them all.
God.
In his diary, which was stolen.
Is he dead?
He's dead.
Oh. Bob Monkhouse is not going to be playing a tuck. We'll try and cast a tuck. We should try and cast a tuck for next week.
Great.
If anybody's got any suggestions out there, you can contact us on helpdesk@alternativefutureradio.com and give us your suggestions for the new A Tuck movie, which we will fund out of our biscuit money.
Well, I can't think of anybody I dislike that much.
Yeah, there's got to be some. There's got to be some.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Hey, this is kind of good, this day in history. Okay.
Yeah, it's more. It gets better. Shirley Temple.
Oh, yeah.
She was born today. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all right.
Went on to be Shirley Black, went on to become a politician.
Yeah. Did you know that Cilla Black's original name was Cilla White before she was married?
I did, actually.
How fun is that?
And Shirley Temple became Shirley Black.
Yeah. Wow.
And ran as a Republican candidate.
Did she really?
She did.
Blimey. Timothy McVeigh, born today.
Oh.
That's an interesting one, isn't it? We could have said that at the beginning of the show and just talked about that for an hour.
The shootings?
The Oklahoma City bombing of the Murrah building.
Yeah.
Or not.
A lot of controversy about that.
Yeah. Controversy to anybody whose eyes are painted on. Blindingly obvious diversion to anybody who's got real eyes and a brain in their head.
When you say diversion, how so?
Well, the Murrah building was an FBI building, wasn't it, if I remember correctly? Mm-hmm. And basically anybody who's not working for the government currently says that it was blown up from the inside.
Okay.
And it clearly looks like it was. Everything around it looks like it was. There was a number of bombs there. There was more than one explosion. The whole thing is just complete made-up nonsense. I can't think of any reason why I would believe that it was blown up by a man in a van.
Yeah.
Outside.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you blow up a building from the outside in a van, all you're going to do is basically smash the windows because the explosion's not contained. It will go out into the air.
And especially yet another one who doesn't seem to know how he did it.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm going to lead on to that because we're going to go back to that also on this day. On this day, Boris Yeltsin died.
Oh, Boris the Bear.
Yeah, you've got to like Boris.
He liked to drop a vodka.
James Earl Ray, he also died today. He is the guy who killed Bob. No, he wasn't Bobby Kennedy. He was the guy who killed.
Was it Martin Luther?
Martin Luther King. Yeah. Speaking of Bobby Kennedy, Sirhan Sirhan, I think that's how you pronounce his name, or Sirhan Sirhan. He was sentenced today for killing Bobby Kennedy. And he's the famous one who can't remember what the hell he was doing.
No, he didn't remember how he did it.
Yeah, no idea.
I mean, you and I watched a little program on Derrin Brown.
Derrin Brown, yeah, where he recreated it.
He recreated an assassination.
Yeah, and the person, he basically copied the whole Sirhan Sirhan story and made it happen.
Yeah, he made it happen. He got this guy, what would you say, he was hypnotising over a period of weeks?
Yeah, and it wasn't really hard hypnotism, it was fairly soft stuff.
Yeah, it really was.
You know, occasional meet here and do a bit there. And
so he was bringing this guy to a gun range to improve his aim and that kind of thing.
And he hypnotised him and told him he was a good shot. And he just basically instantly turned him in 15 minutes into an expert shot. The woman in the range was just astonished.
Yeah.
The expert there, she was like, what just happened? This guy went from not being able to shoot a barn door to being, grouping in the centre of this target at like 100 feet with a handgun.
So
it's crazy.
I think they tried a quick test on him for assassination in a restaurant, didn't they?
They did, yeah. And everybody was in on it, weren't they?
Yeah, everybody was in on it, and they gave him a case with a water pistol.
Yeah.
And they said, what was it, keywords or?
I think there was some music, or was it a keyword?
Music, keyword, and
they use a multiple symbol
and a certain
thing.
Pattern.
Yeah, I think it was a dress colour or a check shirt or something. Yeah.
And this guy just goes into a sort of a trance.
Yeah,
opens up the case, stands up, and shoots at a customer.
Yeah. With a water pistol.
So that was the first test.
And I had no idea.
So the big thing was to go to the big...
it was an auditorium somewhere in London.
Auditorium in London where Stephen Fry, it's strange, was doing a show.
Yeah.
And that's where they had been programming him to shoot Stephen Fry.
Now, what they'd got there is they had given him a silver case, and they said that there was a gun in it, and the producer said they wanted to hand it to somebody who was meeting him later. It was a random, weird story, but he bought it. And basically the whole auditorium was full of real people.
Yeah.
Now, they had an armory expert there and security and also in case anything went a bit strange. But, of course, they gave him a gun with blanks in it. And they surrounded him by people who were actors and security guards in case, he went a bit bananas.
I remember the sequence.
Yeah, go on.
He sat into the chair.
Yeah.
And I think...
There was a phrase that a woman said.
That a woman said who was sitting beside him.
Yeah. And there's a ringtone, was it?
A ringtone, correct.
On a phone,
and then the last piece of it was a lady sitting in front of him with a particular pattern on her dress.
Which is exactly what Sirhan Sirhan said. I think it was a woman in a blue dress or a check blue that triggered him to do it.
And then I don't know what actually... At what point he sat up and shot Stephen Fry.
He didn't do it immediately. He sort of considered it and sort of waited, and then he reached down, got the thing quite calmly, stood up and shot at him.
Yeah.
And some squibs went off in Stephen Fry, and he fell on his back and played dead. The audience were all agasp.
Yeah.
And then he stood up and said it was all a gaff.
And the only thing it proved was, yes, it can be done.
Yeah. They completely just brainwashed him and very easily, it seems, and made him kill somebody.
And you know how this might have been worked out in America, like with the guy who shot Kennedy?
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Lee Harvey Oswald?
Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald believed he was working for the government all of the time. So this guy you're talking about is Sirhan Sirhan?
Yeah.
He may have believed he was doing something for the government.
Yeah.
And all the time they would have been hypnotising him and training him.
They reckon that they did the same thing with I think he was a Saudi guy who did the first World Trade Center bombing.
Yeah.
He believed he was making a fake bomb to help the CIA or the FBI or one or the other.
Do a drill.
A drill.
Yeah.
Why on earth you would buy such a stupid story? You would have to be a moron
I tell you,
to buy into that story.
I would now, because there's been a lot of movies over the years where your government needs you. I mean, take the television program Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Oh, right, yeah. Another 80s fodder.
Right, and Mrs. King was a housewife who was contacted by a government agent, and only she could help.
Obviously, clearly.
It's planting ideas into the mind of the public.
Yeah.
But getting back to just Stephen Fry and the assassination of Stephen Fry in the programme from Derrin Brown, the thing that always sort of struck me about it is it was a pretty cruel thing to do in front of an audience that had no idea.
They had no idea.
As far as they were concerned,
they thought the guy was a maniac.
Stephen Fry had just been shot.
Live.
I mean, he had blood pouring out of his chest.
Yeah, he fell flat on his back.
And he really played the dead thing really well.
And they closed the curtains and made an announcement and everything.
So what on earth did people in the audience think about that?
I have no idea, but they reckon they didn't know, and I suspect they didn't. It didn't look like they knew.
No, they didn't realise that.
No, it was fake.
What was
now, admittedly, they didn't let them think that for very long. But still.
But thank God. But even to think that for a few minutes.
And it was something really lame that they'd turned up for, like a literary festival launch or something that you wouldn't expect to get shot at.
Oh, absolutely. Something.
It wasn't, a weird weekend type thing.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was... But I guess the only thing that Derrin Brown has proved is that, yes, you can program and mind control and brainwash somebody into carrying out an assassination.
Yeah. Now, the only thing was, of course, is that Sirhan, I think, claims that it was done surreptitiously to him. He had no idea that he'd been programmed.
Yeah.
But Derrin Brown is so good, he can sort of walk up to people and hypnotise them on the spot without even realising. And then tell them not to remember that they've had it done.
Without them knowing.
Yeah.
And that's right. And this Sirhan character, his family spoke about him. He said he was the kind of guy who would open a window to let a fly out. That's how gentle he was.
Yeah.
It was so out of character.
Tell me about dog food.
Yeah, dog food is.
We've had a dog food. We've had a bit of an autistic Tourette's moment this week with dog food. It just keeps appearing.
Yeah, dog food keeps popping up all over the place. I don't know which one to go to first.
We've got weird foods. We've got the weird food thing that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, the top 5.
8 humans whose eating habits would make a goat puke.
A billy goat puke.
An article that we're reading there.
That's actually a line from First Blood.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Ah. Go on, I'll let you do the first one there.
Well,
I'll use them all, in fact.
We're going to do 5, not 8. So
because some of them are a bit lame.
Some of them are very lame.
This one's interesting,
This is very interesting. Henry Ford.
Yeah.
What would you say? Hardly the owner of the Ford automobile company there in America.
Yeah.
8 weeds from his garden.
Mm-hmm. Just weeds and nothing else, or were they a complimentary thing?
No, he just decided that groceries were that a human body was like a combustion engine, and anything you put in it would keep it running with energy. So he said, "Well, there's all this free stuff. Why don't I just eat the weeds in the garden?"
Just going to eat weeds. Oh, great. Okay. Lemmy from Motorhead, the rock group Motorhead. What does he eat?
Something not too surprising here. He's 66 years old at the moment.
How is he still alive?
And.
What does he eat?
He's been living anything he wants because he's Lemmy.
It says here, diet, Jack Daniels, meat, cheese and drugs.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that as funny as that gets?
No. Lemmy drinks at least 1 bottle of whiskey a day.
A day?
And has done it for 35 years.
Wow.
The food he consumes is equally unhealthy.
Yeah.
He loads vegetables and eats mainly meats and cheese.
That sounds like me.
With the occasional cake or biscuit thrown in.
Nice.
Administered on however much he likes, whenever he likes it. He's been smoking since he was 11.
Yeah, and he does copious amounts of drugs daily, and has done so for decades.
But the strange thing about Lemmy, if I can find it there, and I can...
Go on.
Yeah, what sets Lemmy apart is his apparent good health. His liver is completely fine.
Oh, how's that work then?
As are his kidneys and lungs.
And he eats nothing but meat, cheese and whiskey.
A bottle of whiskey a day, and he's been smoking since he was 11.
Maybe the drugs are keeping him alive.
Oh, here's a funny
this
one.
is a classic thing. You think this is an urban legend. I wonder if it is true or not. It sounds like an urban legend.
It sounds a bit nutty, doesn't it?
Go on.
Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
What would you call Charles Darwin? The
father of the discovery of evolution, I suppose?
Yeah. Ate every animal he discovered.
No, he didn't eat all of them. He ate one of each.
He didn't eat every animal, but
because that would be pointless.
He ate every one he discovered.
Yeah.
He had to eat them.
I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't you? Turtles, for example, I think I saw on QI. They're apparently really tasty.
Well, we were chatting with Jonathan Downs, and we were talking about. I was quite interested there about eels. You said they taste like cod.
Yeah, they're a bit fishy. They've got a stronger taste.
I thought they'd be slimy.
No, but when you actually, because what you do is you eat a steak of them. You cut them sort of horizontally rather than lengthways, and you get a steak that looks like as big as a tin of tuna, and the flakes that are in them look just like cod, but it's slightly more fishy smelling.
I'll just read I'll read a little bit of bump here about Charles Darwin.
Oh, go on.
He ate a sample of any and every animal he discovered. During his studies at Cambridge University, he joined the Gourmet Club, whose mission statement was to go forth and eat as many rare and unusual animals as possible.
Have they featured in a film? That sounds familiar. I've heard of that.
Maybe it's a Breakfast Club you're thinking of.
Maybe, yeah, more my level.
He enjoyed his time with them so much when he set off to... What's that say? When he set off in the Beagles for South America, he ate everything. Armadillo tastes like duck. What's that? A goatee?
A goatee?
And veal. Oh, wait. Did we say veal? We meant a meat that Darwin might be thought to be veal, and later turned out to be puma.
Puma, nice, nice. And there's pictures of all sorts of animals.
So what a weirdo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Benito Mussolini, former dictator of Italy.
Yeah. Number 5.
Yeah, he ate milk and crackers for a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what?
Maybe that's what made him crackers. Oh! Take my wife, please.
Oh.
Yeah, milk and crackers for him there. Let me see. I've got a few more there to come up. What are the best ones? Is there any more to come here? Here we are. Now, French soldier ate live animals.
Yeah, well, I don't think those that all that unusual.
Well, it's not famous, so it's not that funny, but, you know.
An Italian soldier ate rocks, which is a bit weird.
That's a bit strange, yeah.
I don't know how you live on rocks either.
Roman emperor, now let me try this one. Heliogabalus ate bird brains and gold.
Not that unusual.
Really? You live in a very strange place.
Not that unusual.
Not really? Well, birds, you could eat a chicken, that's a bird.
Oh, come on, when you think about China...
Although they're showing you a picture of a blue tit, there's not much meat on them.
In China, instead of tucking into your Mars bar or Snickers or whatever, because they can't afford them, they'll take an embryo, a bird's egg, where there's an embryo in it, and peel off the shell, and they'll snack away on that.
They will. They eat chicks on sticks. That's a delicacy. They put them in flaming chocolate and stuff like that and put sprinkles on them and stuff.
It's disgusting.
They eat all sorts of stuff. The problem is that they're so poor that the idea of eating a nice, 13-ounce steak is somewhat alien to them.
Yeah.
They need protein from somewhere, and if crickets with sprinkles is all they can get, then crickets with sprinkles they'll eat.
Yeah, you'll soon adjust.
Yeah, when you get hungry. Yeah.
It's like
what's the most... Oh, let's talk exotic food. What have you eaten?
Oh, wow.
What have you eaten?
No.
Anything exotic?
No.
Oh, you surely have.
No.
I've had yak.
Nope.
Yaks taste nice. Bison, they taste nice.
Oh, but look, that's not too exotic. I mean, it's basically red meat.
Buffalo, they're nice.
I thought you were going to say that you ate, I don't know, frogs or something.
I've eaten frogs.
What are they like?
Nice. I'd eat them again if I could get my hands on any. You can't get them around here.
Monkey brains, raw?
Incidentally, I haven't had monkey brain, but I have been in a restaurant where they served it, and I was going to get it, but I was a little bit worried about sort of weird, freakish brain diseases.
Oh, definitely.
It wasn't monkey brain, it was sheep's brain. It was in Aqaba in Jordan. And I've got a photograph of me somewhere sat in a restaurant, and you can see the menu behind me. And I wanted to just take a photo of the menu, but without being too touristy. And some of the stuff on the menu would make your toes curl.
Like what?
Oh, literally sheep's brains and
entrails.
Yeah, it was all freakish, weird brain and kidney burger and stuff.
I think one of the strangest foods that I was ever introduced to at home was pig's feet, and I wouldn't eat those.
Oh, no.
Not in a million years.
They used to eat those in Yorkshire. Why the hell would you want to eat pig's feet?
They ate them all over the place. In the butchers in London, they used to have stacks of them.
Oh, no.
And people did eat them.
I've never had haggis. Haggis doesn't look like something I'd want to eat.
No, me neither.
I lived in Scotland for years and never came across it.
And one that most people can't stomach, but I have no problem with, is liver.
I used to eat liver like it was going out of fashion when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
And then I realised that liver was actually made out of livers. I thought it was just a name.
Oh, no, yes.
Like tongue. I used to eat tongue. And tongue's actually... I assume it's ox tongue or...
liver's quite tender. It's quite a tender thing to eat.
It tastes nice, but I don't think I'd like to eat it anymore.
But, the tongue, I did try tongue, and it was just a bit chewy.
Yeah. It used to be okay. We used to have it on sandwiches.
Who's this last guy on the list?
William Buckland ate a human heart. I don't know who William Buckland is.
Well, he's a Victorian-era scientist.
Yeah.
He was the first person to publish a scientific study of the dinosaur. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, that's worth merit. But then, we're at the end, I think we're at the end of this, but the biggest one that we were talking about before was Barack Obama. Or Barry Satoro, as he is.
Speaking of famous folk eating strange stuff.
Yeah, we had the story on our website.
You look it up there, and I'll tell people what it's about.
It was on the weird news section of the website.
It popped up there, and we're trying to have a look into it to confirm. But Barack Obama's grandfather introduced the young Obama to eating dog food.
Yeah, dog food.
Tinned
What's
dog
that
food.
all about?
It's a running theme in EastEnders at the moment.
Of course, yeah. I meant to mention that before, didn't I? There was a story last week where the cheap food that they were buying, it was Bianca, I think, the ginger woman.
Yeah.
She was basically so poor that she couldn't afford to buy food.
For people in America, it's a popular United Kingdom soap opera.
Yeah, it's pretty crap. It's it's government funded as well. By the way, it's a BBC program,
which is government funded.
It is government funded.
So,
yeah. So therefore, you have to take everything.
So
with
you've
you've
been talking about this. That people have been getting so poor in this program that
they're resorting to buying cans of food from supermarkets and outlets with no labels on, a lucky dip type thing, and they're buying them cheap. Here's the story. Look, I'll just bring it up. And they're buying them cheap, and then they were basically saying, "Oh well, we don't know what we're having. It could be hot dogs, it could be soup, it could be anything." And basically, the kids in the thing were saying, "Yeah, it could be dog food." And she opened one, and it clearly was dog food. And she smelt at it and went, "Smells tasty." And then they cut away. But the intimation is that they ate it.
Bells. What are they trying to tell us?
They were hinting at them eating dog food, and that is a typical attempt at them to normalise a certain process. Yeah, to normalise poverty.
Well, here's the headline. Barack Obama's... Oh, sorry, not granddad. Stepdad. Trained him to eat dog meat.
Dog meat.
It could be not dog food. We could be getting this mixed up. It could be a dog.
Oh, God, yeah. That teach me not to read the whole thing. You read into that there. Is he actually talking about dog meat? Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, just eating dog.
Yeah. Hashtag Obama dog recipes apparently trended.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't object to eating dog meat or cat meat.
I wouldn't object to it. I know animal lovers.
I've probably done it. I've been to quite a few Chinese restaurants in my time.
There was one in Yorkshire where I used to live that got closed down because it was serving dog in kebabs.
Sorry?
It was serving dog in kebabs.
But it
wasn't claiming.
Say if you got I don't know, sweet and sour chicken balls. You know the way it's all the other ones you can get. They're covered in batter, and it's a tiny piece of meat.
Yeah, could be anything.
That could be anything.
Could be anything.
I don't give a damn about it if it's dog or cat. I'll eat it.
I would,
as long as it's not rat.
Rat? Nah, rat's all right.
Well, people do eat rats, so I
can't think why you wouldn't eat a rat.
Would you get a disease from eating a rat?
No. I mean, if you get a countryside rat, they're actually quite clean. It's sewer rats from the town you don't want to go near.
Speaking of takeaways, I remember this report some years ago.
Yeah.
You're probably people might be aware in the kebab restaurants or takeaways where you have the meat up on the skewer.
Yeah.
The big round piece of meat, and they cut a slice off of it.
Is that Turkish kebab? I think it might be.
Turkish kebab, and they take a bit off, and you know how long. The problem is, how long has it been there?
Usually not that long, in fairness, because they sell so much. It might be a couple of days though. They're an expensive lump of meat.
I'm talking about ones that might be the size of a dustbin or something, which they have had as well. And of course, the health. I was reading in the paper a few years back. The health officers went in. Mm-hmm. He was very, very warm. They were just leaving the meat there overnight and in the early morning.
Yeah.
They cut into the meat, and in the middle of it was a load of maggots.
Ooh, whoa. Nasty.
Right in the middle.
I'm not sure.
You'd never taste that with meat.
No,
That's been spiced.
No, you wouldn't.
That was the idea of spicing meat.
Of curry.
Curry
was invented to cover
It was meat that was gone off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen lots of meat, and probably eaten it as well, that's been sort of green and things like that. And most beef, in fact, that's nice, has been rotten to go green. Mm. They do that normally.
They say that with pheasant, it's meant to go maggoty before you eat it.
Oh, no.
Is that true?
I don't think maggoty, but you do have to hang it for,
so
for a good
that's
while.
A bit,
it might be.
Not quite maggoty.
Not quite, but off.
Because, I mean, I've kept dogs and things over the years, and I've had raw meat, and, in hot weather, and when they do go maggoty, oh, my God, they are gone.
Apparently, just going back to the Obama thing, it's got a very good sauce, It's actually Obama's own best-selling memoir, Dreams from My Father, A Story of Race and Inheritance. His father, Lolo Sotoro. Remember, Barack Obama was not his real name. He was telling him how he was fed dog meat when he was a child in Indonesia. Yeah.
Well, the thing with Barack Obama is we don't know where he was born.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of people out there who would like to see his birth certificate.
And they seem to have a great deal of difficulty bringing it. I mean, I know.
Strange. I know where mine is.
I know I have to produce my birth certificate regularly.
Yeah.
If even to go to the library.
Yes.
So it's strange that the President of the United States couldn't find his.
Yeah, very strange. You would think that somebody, who's reasonably intelligent would be able to place his birth certificate. Very odd. So, right, going on then from there. Oh, I wanted to mention, we didn't do a top 5 this week, did we?
No, we didn't. Just before we move on from the videos and things, just that thing. Oh, the thing about the giant rat that was found. There's footage of that now. We were talking about it with Paul Westwood from Big Cats a few weeks ago. In case you thought we were mental, we're not. We're
not mental. And also, if you listen to our interview with Jonathan Downes, he in fact ends the mystery with a very blunt point. He knows exactly where it is. He spots it straight away.
And it was so simple.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it was simple.
Yeah.
If you want to see that video, alternativefutureradio.com, click where it says videos for the world's weirdest playlist of videos, and you can see some footage of one of these giant rats. We kid you not.
That's right. Oh, it's worth having a look at.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a report on Sky News.
It was indeed reported on Sky News. So, I think...
Whoa.
It's music time.
Oh, great.
We're about done.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody.
Been another great episode of the Out There Hour.
Out There Hour?
After Hours.
Oh, smooth.
The Out There Hour on Alternative Future Radio. The Out There Hour with Basil and Mark. www.alternativefutureradio.com.
I know, let's get a really crappy black and white comedy that's not funny and take all of the actors and then put them into animated cat bodies in colour and, let's pump that out to the world.
To be fair,
who commissions this crap?
I really preferred Top Cat.
Yeah, it was better.
It was a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're going to nerd out again.
No, we did the mystery voice.
We did.
But we didn't do this week's competition.
Oh, yes.
Guess the artist.
Guess the artist, and we used the word artist quite liberally.
Again, like Charles Manson, not famous for his music.
No, but still famous.
But a rather well-known cult figure in the 70s, 60s and 70s. I think he died maybe in the 80s
Big
or 90s.
Name. He was a leader of a number of people.
He was a leader of something big.
Something quite big. He... let me see. He looks very much like a famous movie bad guy. We'll say that much, because if we went too specific, it would give it away.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He looks like a famous movie bad guy.
It's a good thing we went for take 2 this morning then, wasn't it? Oh dear. Oh no.
But yeah, shall I play it?
We're not being professional. Oh my goodness. Let's. It's
this look, that look, and the smile. God. That's what freaks me out. He doesn't look again. He only looks at the beginning.
That's enough.
If you're interested to know the answer to this and you are too lazy to enter the competition, you can go to our website, www.alternativefutureradio.com, click on videos, and you will see all the videos that we're going to talk about today and some others, and they're all weird. It's the weirdest playlist in the world.
It is.
That much I think I can say with some degree of certainty.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can watch the video which we were just playing, so you'll know the answer, and enter the competition, hopefully to win massive prizes next week. The old videos are on there as well, the Rainbow Twanger episode from last time.
Which we covered last week.
I've also got the Brass Eye Pedo-geddon episode, which got banned, which is quite funny. We've got a report from Bohemian Grove.
An actual news report on Bohemian Grove.
An actual news report from real journalists.
I think of personal interest and trauma to me, the bicycle episode of Different Strokes.
Yes, that is on there.
Which was a difficult few weeks for me, reviewing that.
Yeah, it must have been. It took you 3 weeks to review one episode of Different Strokes.
Research.
Research, yes, clearly, yes. Actually, I can't see it. Maybe it's on page 2. It's on page 2.
Oh, we've gone to page 2, everybody.
Oh, yeah, we're moving on.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so
topics
what we're going to go on to then? What are you going to pick first? Oh, can I pick the first one? Because it's the most recent one.
Okay, if you insist.
Psychic fair.
Oh.
We went to a psychic fair yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gee.
We thought, yeah, let's go to a psychic fair. We'll pick up some interesting guests and mediums and psychic and unusual people, and we'll interview them, and it'll all be great.
We could have picked up some interesting soap, because that's what it was mainly made of.
It was basically soap and crystals that were for sale, and insoles or something of equal stature.
And books.
And some books, yeah.
Well,
all stuff I could have bought on eBay and saved the 20 quid on fuel and entry fees that I spent that day.
Yeah, it cost us it took quite a bit of funding from this little old station.
It took about 2 hours of our life, 5 quid each to get in, petrol.
It was a week's wages, everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
A week's wages for us.
If you're listening from Malaysia, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot.
But not where we are in the field.
Not really, no, in the field. Yeah. We're always operating in the field.
Operating in the field.
Operating in the field.
We're operating from an undisclosed location for our own safety.
Safety, yes.
And security. So the psychic fair. So what we, I don't know whether I should say this or not and ruin psychic fairs for people, but...
I think you should. I think you should save them from them. It's a money-saving tip.
It is, because what we were hoping for was just to rub shoulders with some mediums is what we wanted to speak to.
Yeah.
And we just assumed that you'd go in and they'd just be there and you could just talk to them. Hang about.
Yeah.
No.
Nope, cordoned off they were.
Cordoned off, and you had to book to see them.
Yeah, whether or not you got... So you didn't get a chance to talk to them first to find out whether or not you thought they were a nice person or not.
Yeah.
Or, mental or sane or whatever. So you had to pay up front and then pick one of these people basically from a distance.
Yeah.
How sucky is that?
Yeah, so it was by viewing them.
Yeah.
Which one looks the most medium-like?
Medium-like, yeah. Well, this one's quite nice, and we'll not play it again because, we're like that. But if you bothered to listen to it and guess, then, we'll give you the answer. Nobody bothered to answer, of course.
Again, it's the... what I've dubbed the competition that nobody enters and nobody leaves.
We should get a jingle for that.
We'll get a jingle for it.
We'll make one up. Yeah.
So, let's just...
do the big reveal. Drum roll, please.
No drum roll. Are you serious? That sounds like a badly running lawnmower.
That's as close as I've got.
That's given the idea we're going to give money away, and we're never going to do that, ever.
You keep promising money every week. Only in full knowledge that nobody enters the competition.
Right. I always say it was £2,000
after,
and you didn't enter.
Yeah.
It was going to be a gold bar.
Oh, gold bar,
but you didn't enter.
Yeah. Oh well.
So the answer to it, if you want to nip back to the last video, it was Mr. Ed, star of the popular 1950s sitcom. About a talking horse.
About a talking frigging horse.
And it was pretty good.
Wow, didn't they peak?
I watched it. I thought it was pretty funny.
I watched it for a little while, then decided it wasn't, and stopped.
It was in black and white. And
that was a big killer for me. I can't stand black and white.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, don't want to watch it.
Well, when I was a kid, all you had was I'm not saying I know.
When I was a lad.
I look like I'm in my late 20s. I understand that. But, they used to show a lot of... what do they call it? Syndicate black and white TV
Repeat?
shows. Yeah, so it was... I Love Lucy and stuff like My Favourite Martian.
Oh, good grief. I didn't see that one, thankfully.
Yeah, it was grim.
I can imagine, yeah. God, I tell you what I used to begrudgingly watch / hate. I don't know why I watched it. I think I watched it because I hated it. Sergeant Bilko.
Oh, gosh, wow. Every Sunday.
Yeah. Wow.
Jeez, that was bad.
What was that? Phil Silvers, wasn't it?
And then, do you remember on... Oh, no, I'm going to sci-fi out. No, I'm going to nerd out.
Don't nerd out, but why was Top Cat, or Boss Cat if you're in America, basically Sergeant Bilko, but with cats?
Because it was based on Bilko.
Why? Who thought that was a great idea? Large. This one's quite small. Yeah. I'll go for the one in the middle.
Maybe
it's medium.
We should have tried telepathy to speak to them, perhaps. I don't know. But
no.
Paying up front, come on.
Yeah, and all you got for your £5 entry fee was basically the ability to walk around a few stalls selling soaps and crystals and rubbish, basically, stuff that we didn't want.
Candles and incense.
Candles, yeah.
Which you can kind of get anywhere.
Which you can go and get anywhere without spending £5 to get in.
Yeah.
What a complete rip-off.
So we're not knocking it, but we are.
We are. I was rubbish. I'll never go again. I advise everybody else not to.
I'm going to give you a name.
All right.
I'm going to give you a name and see what conjures up in your tiny brain, Mark.
Yes.
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton. Geordie LaForge.
Geordie LaForge. That's what everybody thinks.
Don't nerd out on me again.
No,
don't go hyper nerditic.
No,
I've invented that. Hyper nerditic.
I know we did it on the last show. We lost the plot, didn't we?
We went big time into Nerdsville. We moved in.
We won't go too far into trekkiness this time. But no, it's not all about science fiction with LeVar Burton, because he's most commonly known as Geordie from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Nerd!
And also, you had an interesting story about him and Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Can you recall it?
It is a bit nerdy.
I'll go for it.
Well, he knew Whoopi Goldberg, or continues to know Whoopi Goldberg.
They were friends.
Yeah, I think they still are. Maybe because of their past history, because they both played people in very similar
I'll get to
films,
that. I'll get to that.
We'll go to that one. But yeah, he was sort of hanging out, and he went to Whoopi Goldberg's house, I think, and basically he was on his way to an audition for Next Generation. And Whoopi Goldberg said, well, where are you going? He said, I'm off to this audition, Next Generation. They're remaking Star Trek, he said. This must have been late 80s, I assume.
I think it came on in about 89, so yeah, they would have filmed it too.
And Whoopi Goldberg basically threw a fit and said that she was a massive mega fan and wanted to be on the show at all costs.
Which I didn't know,
No, and he said, yeah, okay, well, fair enough. She said, get me on that show. And he said, well, okay, I'll ask. And then a couple of months later, she said, well, where's my call like? I've not heard of anything. And she was at the height of her fame at the time. She was doing Jumping Jack Flash and
Ghost.
Ghost
Was one of the biggest films ever of the 90s.
So she was a top of the bill. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sexual innuendo and conjoined twin of the Out There Hour. It's After Hours.
The Out There Hour on Alternative Future Radio. The Out There Hour with Basil and Mark. www.alternativefutureradio.com.
Yay! In your face, everybody else.
Everybody join in.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, America. Good morning, United Kingdom. Good morning, Europe.
And Kuwait, and possibly Israel and Saudi Arabia.
And the Middle East.
We've got some other very curious demographics appearing as well. We're quite big in Qatar.
Oh, that's odd. I didn't know
Not the nasal fluid, but the actual country.
Don't want to come across as a dummy, but where is Qatar?
It is a emirate, or I believe it's an emirate. It's an island, at least. Or is it connected to Saudi Arabia? It's on the east coast of Saudi Arabia, in the Arabian Peninsula, and I think it might be actually connected to Saudi Arabia. It could be an island, I'm not sure.
What's all this Middle Eastern thing about?
I have no idea. We get viewers from Kuwait en masse, loads of those. Saudi Arabia is one of the most popular countries, and then Qatar. We've even got viewers from Yemen. What's that all about?
Maybe they're looking for a green card and think we can help them out.
Yeah, maybe we're going to start getting emails in the post.
Maybe it's women who want to marry us.
Yes, exactly.
Which I'm not opposed to. Send your details to alternativefutureradio.com.
You can email Basil directly at basil@alternativefutureradio.com. Please enclose a picture. Several pictures.
Several pictures, please.
And a small video.
Not of your daughter, of you. The reason I was saying hello to the entire world this morning is because we're broadcasting on Ustream live.
We are indeed live on Ustream again.
And you're so welcome to say hello to us if you're listening in.
Yes, do it. Why not? It's free.
It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost you. It doesn't cost us.
Yeah, exactly. Just do it.
The best price in the world.
It is one of the best prices. Right, competition time. Let's clear this business up.
Yeah, so last week we ran a competition to guess the mystery voice.
Yes, mystery